Hello and welcome to the Hawkins Hellfire Collective. I'm Devin Grubb,
And I'm Zach Grubb.
and today is another one of my favorites. You're going to listen to me talk for probably like a half an hour, and Zach's going to just chime in.
Ask questions where I think they're relevant. Yeah.
Because it's a 7th grade book report! Because I read the Dustin book. I
should really have like different music to put behind you whenever you
I
announce it like that.
I finished the Dustin Experiment. Sorry, I thought you were trying to. If I was your phone, I thought you were trying to find background me.
No, I was just turning my phone down. No. You go on. You talk about Dustin.
So I wasn't really a fan of this book.
So you have said.
Yeah.
I think the most interesting thing you can talk about in this episode after, you give a synopsis is the difference between these books, because you definitely have them in two categories.
Yes.
And the books written by people who actually write the show.
Yeah, we'll get there. So I'm gonna try to keep this one. Again, I'm not gonna be able to keep it spoiler free.
No, we can't. You're talking about a book.
This it came out, I want to say in 20. I have it with me, so we're gonna find out when it came out, because I want to say 2024, like the end.
Is it really that old?
Yeah, 2024. But I think it was like the end of 2024.
Gotcha.
So just because it came out in 2024, we probably weren't seeing it in stores until like January, February of last year.
Yeah.
Because I remember seeing it like around my birthday, but I didn't get it.
No, I remember you telling me that it was out and us never seeing it.
And I was interested in it. And I was interested in it because, the story takes place, it is the beginning of their freshman year. So it's between season 3 and season 4. And basically it's them, Dustin is the main character. Mike and Lucas are kind of secondary to him. Actually, I guess
no Will, no 11.
Will and 11 are not in it. Will is in it via letters. Dustin and
letters to Will.
Dustin and Will Dustin writes to Will and Will writes back. And then there is a phone call at one point where they call Will, and Will and 11 talk a little bit, but it's not massive. Steve and Robin are also in it because Dustin goes to Family Video after school a lot, but they're like, what do you call
ancillary?
I guess it would be, because I wouldn't even say they're like a tertiary character in this.
On the periphery.
Yeah. Steve does have a moment with Dustin towards the end. And he's in it in the beginning too, but
so it's a Dustin book, but we don't pay attention to Steve.
Not really.
I wonder who the other main character is.
So I said that Mike and Lucas were the secondary characters. That's wrong. Eddie is I guess you would say the secondary character in the book. But that's, before I get into those, just Dustin, it does it's them navigating the beginning of high school. Lucas wants to do basketball. They don't like that Lucas wants to do basketball because they're doing Hellfire. And there is a science fair in like Indianapolis that Dustin wants to be a part of, wants them to do it with him. They don't want to, so he's, he winds up doing it. He does a solo quest, and he does it on his own. And it's basically, there's like a little mystery in with the solo quest, because there's a curse at the science fair, and like people's projects get sabotaged, and they figure out the mystery of that. And
there's a curse at the science fair.
The projects get sabotaged, so that this is very YA. This is a very YA book. Even for me, who reads a lot of YA books, this is very...
Not as much lately.
No, not as much lately. I have delved into more grown-up books, but I do enjoy a YA every now and then. But this is very, very much so. Like, they say shit a couple times, and that's kind of the extent of bad language. Anywho, there's a mystery at the science fair. Dustin solves the mystery, but the main conflict throughout the book is his relationship with Mike and Lucas and how it is strained. And yeah. So that's kind of spoiler free. That's a pretty spoiler free synopsis of the book. That being said, now I'm not going to be spoiler free. So,
spoiler warning.
Spoiler warning. Either stop listening now or, do whatever you have to do if you're interested in reading the book, or, you can just listen to me rant.
Go to this timestamp that I am absolutely not going to put on this.
I did not like this book because I feel like it kind of discredited a lot of what happens in season 4. So the majority of the book, Lucas is not with them. He is on the basketball team, kind of being an asshole, or he's trying to be on the basketball team, gets to be on the basketball team, kind of is being an asshole. Jason is a dick to them from the beginning, because, yeah, he's in it a little bit. And Lucas just doesn't do anything about it. He doesn't join Hellfire until the end of the book. And my problem with that is I don't like that it made it seem like he was in it, like, season 4 makes it seem like he's in it from the start.
Yeah, it very much makes it seem like he is an established member at Hellfire.
Yeah,
they've been in this campaign together the entire time.
Yeah, and the book has it set up like they do a different campaign every semester or whatever. So like, he joins at the end of the first semester. Eddie lets him join because Eddie and Dustin are best friends. And I don't have a problem with that, because if you listen to this podcast, you know how I feel about Eddie. You know how I feel about Dustin. My issue is that the book makes it seem like they have been buddies since the beginning, since Dustin and Mike and Lucas started high school. That's fine, but in season 4, their relationship in the beginning of the show comes off as like they're not super friends with him. That like, yes, they have lunch with him and they're part of the Hellfire Club and they obviously get along, but they're afraid of him.
They're the juniors. They're the junior members of the club.
Yeah.
They're on the bottom of the totem pole.
Yes. And they genuinely come across as being afraid of him in season 4. And
not like he's gonna beat us up afraid, but like
they're
oh, what's he gonna do?
They're afraid to approach him about Lucas, who, if he was not a main member of the club, him not being there shouldn't be that big of a deal, but we're not talking about that right now. I already talked about it. But like, Eddie takes Dustin to his science fair in Indianapolis in this book. And because all of his other options are out. His mom is going away. Nancy has some Nancy was an option? Nancy was an option, but she's got newspaper stuff. Yes, Nancy is his second option. Steve is his third, which is wild to me. And Steve's reasoning is, oh, I got a date, back to that's all that matters about Steve.
Now that I'm hearing details, I'm like, okay, yes, this is fan fiction. Like, Steve between seasons 3 and 4 would not act like that.
Steve between seasons 3 and 4 would have been like, no, you know what? I think I can, I'll push back my date. I'll take you to your science fair.
Like, if we're thinking between seasons 3 and 4, he's not really shown to be dating.
No.
At all.
No, he's not. He's not. The book starts, it's like August 30th or something, and it goes through to the beginning of December. But anyway, because none of these people want to take Dustin to his science fair, he asks Eddie. And Eddie says yes, and they go on this road trip together, and they bond. And, like, I'm fine with this. They bond over the fact that they have, like, deadbeat dads and all this stuff. But
actually fine with this.
I don't like it because I don't like that. I
part of Eddie's character arc in season 4 is the fact that he cares what Dustin thinks.
Yes.
We don't get that vibe from him until after they start spending time together.
Yes. This is why that bothers me, because that's not the relationship they have when season 4 starts.
No, their relationship develops. That's kind of the whole point.
Yes, it develops. It develops very quickly, but it develops.
Right. Eddie is seen as somebody Dustin looks up to, but you don't get the impression that goes both ways in any way, shape, or form until after.
Yes. And this is very much like they have this established relationship and they're best friends. To the point where when Lucas decides that he wants to do Hellfire 2, Dustin approaches Eddie and asks Eddie if it's okay to bring Dustin in.
Right.
With what we know of season 4, that would not have flown.
No, not at all. He was scared.
Not at all.
He was scared to bring anything to Eddie.
Like, I don't want to sound like I'm shitting on this. I don't, and I feel like that is how it's coming across, and I don't. But, like, for someone who has dabbled in not writing fan fiction but reading fan fiction,
dabbled.
Let me finish. And is
represent
currently
yourself accurately, honey.
And is currently reading fan fictions. I have no shame. I don't care. Yes, I'm 35. I read fan fiction. Sue me. Whatever. I like to have fun too. Anywho, this is very fan fiction to me. Not in the self-insert, made up my own character fan fiction, but in the sense that it's like, well, I need to make this relationship with Eddie better or whatever.
Or my story won't make sense.
Right. And, like, it just, to me, it made things that happen in season 4 not make sense.
Yeah.
And yes, these books are supposedly canon. It makes what happened in season 4 not seem canon. Now, we're not gonna get into those things right now, but it made certain character things not make sense.
And I think this is the difficulty of placing any story between seasons.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the Mad Max book worked, even if it was kind of fan-fiction-y and, like, clearly more YA, because it took place before Max ever reached Hawkins.
And you know what? That's also why, even though I didn't particularly care for it, the Robin book worked because that took place before she was involved.
Yeah.
Like, stuff was happening around her. She had heard of these things, but she wasn't involved in it. That book literally ends with her getting her job at Scoops.
Let me ask you a question.
Yes.
If we were to pluck Eddie out of this story and replace him with Steve, how much would change?
In terms of the story?
In terms of the actual story.
Like, the actual story.
Not the character dynamics, or, like, you know, the growth of their characters coming together. But, like, let's just say you plucked Eddie and you put Steve in his place.
So, like, made Steve be the one that took him on his road trip and everything. Nothing would change.
Okay, that's it. Then.
Nothing would change. You, like, it would literally be, the only thing that would, like, everybody is kind of, like, weirdly afraid of Eddie's look at the science fair or whatever, because they're a bunch of, like, nerdy kids and he's a metal guy.
I mean, that would also work with Steve. But that would work with Steve
because he's like, you know, he's a jockey preppy guy. Why is he with a bunch of nerds? Like, it really would not change anything. I also don't really like the way that Steve was portrayed in this. When they were having discussions, he comes off as very, at least in the beginning, like, annoyed by it. Like, figure out your shit, dude. Like, no, that would be how he is in the beginning of season 5, because he's fed up. If we're going between season 3 and season 4, I feel like
we're still in the, like, Henderson vibe. Right.
The only thing that, like, at the end, him and Dustin have a little heart to heart, and it's more, I don't want to say it's more like that. Like, it's not, it would make you think of how they are in season 2 a little bit. Like, Dustin comes to him for advice and he gives his advice, and, like, but he seems a little, like, happy that Dustin came to him because of his relationship with Eddie. Right. So, like, that, I liked that. It seemed more on brand for Steve than the beginning stuff. It messed with my characters in a way that I didn't care for.
And I think that's why it gave you the fan fiction vibe. Like, this is not...
Yeah.
This is... the writer of the story seems like they may not have a very strong grasp on who these characters are, and it's more about who she sees them as.
I mean, when reading just about Dustin... No, she's got a grasp on Dustin. Dustin made sense, and, like, his relationship with Max and Lucas made sense, and, like, the stuff that they're going through made sense. But, like, the Eddie of it all, and that didn't make sense. Right. And the Lucas stuff seemed more out of character for at least, you know, what I would think to be the beginning of high school for them. Seemed off to me.
I'm confused. At Hawkins, is basketball just, like, year round?
He had basketball tryouts in December.
I'm gonna Google some stuff.
Keep going. I mean, well, no, that could be it, because their championship game started was in March. Right before spring break. So if they potentially have a baseball team, then their basketball season would be over in, like, March, and they would go into baseball. Gotcha. Because you have to, like, if they have a football team, football starts probably in, like, August and goes until, you know, November. December-ish.
Yeah, Googling just told me that mid-November is typically when winter sports start.
Right. Tryouts. So, yeah. So that wasn't weird.
Okay, this is more me making an observation of Hawkins, since we seem to only ever care about the basketball team.
Well, because that's also what Steve played.
Yeah.
And Billy, and that's kind of, yeah, all you really know of. Yeah. But so, and then it was, like I said, very fan fiction-y. And what did you want me to talk about? The separate camps that I put them into.
Yeah, like, I think you've already kind of touched on it, but like why some of these books work and why some of them don't.
So, I've read 4 of the Stranger Things books now.
Dustin, Nancy, Eddie,
and Robin.
Robin.
So I've read 4 of them. 2 of them have been written by just regular authors, and the other 2 were written by Caitlin Schneider-Han, who is a writer for the show. It's evident. The Eddie book and the Nancy book were drastically different from the Robin book and this Dustin book. Not just because 2 of them are considered YA and 2 of them are probably, they're still considered YA, I would assume, but like older.
They skew older.
Yeah, they skew older. Like I would say that they probably are YA on like, you know, the 16 up YA,
yeah.
Whereas this one, like, you could read this book and like at like, you know, 8th, 9th grade, and it's not gonna mess you up. Excuse me. And honestly, even I know we did a 7th grade book report on the Nancy book, and I was like, it was fine. If you take the Stranger Things out of it, it's still a good book. I feel like the ones that are written by
the writers of the shows,
the ones that are written by the writer of the show, clearly it's gonna have a better handle.
Yeah,
because they write for the show. She wrote for Eddie.
This is what annoys me though. Because obviously that's true. Obviously somebody who's actually writing for the show is gonna have a better handle on these characters, but like, does this mean that there's really just no QA going on in terms of like when this is like, and okay, QA is the wrong way to
you mean
to
like
say it.
Running it by somebody who is on like the Stranger Things camp,
right? Like, is there no consistent editing going on to make sure that these things are in the voices of the actual characters?
Well, this is the thing. This didn't feel like it was out of his voice.
Not out of Dustin's, but
no,
like,
but the Robin one, I didn't particularly think that Robin was very Robin.
To be fair, Robin wasn't consistent in the show.
That's true also.
So that would be hard.
With this book, like I said, it wasn't that Dustin didn't feel like Dustin or Mike didn't feel like Mike. Like I said, Steve was the only one who didn't really feel like Steve. Everybody.
Didn't you say even Eddie though was like not quite right?
No, Eddie. He was nicer than I would have expected him to be, considering the fear that they have.
Was he consistent with Eddie's portrayal in Flight of Icarus?
No.
There, so that's important then, because that's Eddie pre-season 4.
That's Eddie, and
and that's the character. That's the writer of the character writing how he was in those years.
Yeah, because that takes place. That's his first senior year, so that takes place in 1983.
Yes.
The Flight of Icarus. So I don't. Yeah, he wasn't totally right either. He's scared of ducks. That was interesting. According to this book, Eddie is afraid of ducks.
What?
Yep. That's part of the bonding thing that happens. They talk about stuff when they're driving to Indianapolis, and then...
Yes, because we all know that Eddie is a deeply emotionally vulnerable person who would share these things.
They talk about having deadbeat dads.
That's fine. I mean,
but, I think that's... stuff like... It's... Yeah. Yeah,
you can't slam the book down anywhere on this desk.
No, I'll send things flying. I was really excited about this book.
I know.
Because I would. Dustin is my favorite. I love his relationship with Eddie. I love his relationship with Steve. I didn't like this book.
I bought the Max book, right? We still have it?
We do still have it. Well, you want me to read it and,
I kind of think
and re-up the episode?
I kind of think you should, because it's been a long time since I've read it, and I remember it being pretty good.
You didn't have a lot of bad... You didn't really have anything bad to say, if I recall.
Yeah, and it seems like these books, like you've mentioned, kind of miss the tone of these characters pretty often.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd be interested to see if that's everywhere. I know we weren't gonna read it, but now you were saying
I'm interested in Lucas on the Line now.
Yeah, because one thing I brought up was that when you were telling me about this, the weird inconsistency about him going out for basketball, and not being part of Hellfire at the beginning. My first question was, oh, is that reflected in Lucas on the Line? And we were like, we don't know.
Also, I would be interested to see, because this is taking place in the beginning of their freshman year of high school. I would assume Lucas on the Line would be too, because it's him, is this stuff going to...
Is it mentioned?
Right.
Yeah.
Because, and this is what I'm when I say they're all supposed to be somewhat canon, are they not?
I don't think the term
canon
applies to Stranger
really
Things
use
anymore.
That anymore.
I really don't.
But before, they were all supposed to be the novels that you read are canon. They can fit right into the story.
But even
that's not totally wrong.
Even then, though, they did the Hopper and 11 book, which I read the first chapter of and never picked back up. I'm going to read it. Darkness of the Edge of Town. Mm-hmm. That was supposed to be canon. It says on the book that it is. And then, a few months after it came out, they're like, no, it's not canon anymore. So,
there isn't. They pick and choose what is and isn't.
They call everything canon when it releases.
Yeah.
And then when it doesn't appeal to them anymore, or the story that they're telling, or the new books they want to put out, suddenly those old things are no longer canon. It really cheapens the whole experience of Stranger Things outside of the 5-season show. It makes it really hard to want to engage with this content, I guess, because you can't take it as actually part of the series that you love. Because at any time, the creators are just going to come out and say, well, okay, no, that doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah. I would not say that this is canon.
Yeah.
Even
it doesn't seem like it from what you've been telling me.
It doesn't feel that way to me. And this is going to sound, it's not negative, because some fan fiction writers are actually really, really good writers.
Yeah.
This feels I've said it for some of them, but this one really feels like I read a published fanfic.
Right. And again, not derogatory.
Not derogatory at all. I just didn't care for this as what I was hoping for. Yes, I knew that we were going to get more of, Dustin and Eddie's relationship pre-season 4. That was part of why I wanted to read it. But I didn't think it was going to be that they're besties away.
That's the fanfic piece of it, I think. The strongest fanfic piece, because this is what people would have wanted if Eddie didn't die.
Yeah. And I'm a huge Eddie fan. Eddie was an asshole when you first meet him. He could have been more of an asshole.
Yeah. Even the comic books about Eddie, kind of capture the fact that he's kind of a dick.
Yeah. Yeah.
You root for him, you like him.
Yes.
But yeah, he's kind of a dick.
He's a lovable asshole.
Yeah.
And it just that he didn't come off that way at all. I don't really have much more to say.
Yeah.
On the matter.
So I think at this point it's like, all right, I guess we kind of have to read Lucas on the Line.
I'm curious about Lucas on the Line. I genuinely am.
Our local Sam's Club has had it for like 6 years,
know,
so
I know. We also need more things to do to talk about once our character deep dives are done. So I'm gonna be reading a lot of Stranger Things books, and you can listen to me rant about them in these 7th grade book reports.
It'll be a while before I get to Darkness at the Edge of Town.
That's okay.
Like, I'm starting that second Magic the Gathering book as soon as it comes in, and then I also have Mistborn, which is over 1,000 pages.
You have things to read,
and then I can read.
I mean, I also have things to read, but like I can easily slip these into my. This took me like.
Oh yeah, you can slam those in like 5 days.
4 days to read this.
4 days.
Like
yeah.
this was not a hard. It's not. They're quick reads. So, I mean, we can pick up Lucas on the Line, and I can insert that into my list and read it next if I need to.
If you took that on vacation with it, I bet you could finish it in one night.
What, Lucas on the Line?
Yeah.
Well, we have to purchase it first.
True.
Yeah. So I feel like that one is going to deal with more of him and Max breaking up, which does get mentioned in this.
Maybe there will be some Erica.
Oh, that'd be great. That would be good.
Yeah.
I need some Erica in my life. Anyway, I usually say whether I recommend them or not.
You didn't really recommend the Robin book. You were like, if you're a hardcore Robin fan, sure.
Yeah, I mean, I did recommend the Nancy book. I did recommend the Eddie book. I can't.
I think if you recommend this, you're being too nice because you really didn't.
You didn't let me finish. I was gonna say I can't, in good conscience, just be like, yeah, read it.
Yeah.
Listen to me rant, and then do with that what you will. It wasn't for me. It might be for you. Who knows?
How deep into fan fiction do you go? You're listening to our podcast, so probably pretty deep.
I love a good fanfic. I do.
I know. I'm not judging. Reading is reading. We have a major literacy problem in this country.
Yeah, except that I can't. On my 2026 reading goals, I can't exactly put a Steve Harrington fan fiction on there.
You literally are. You read that book where the main character was based on
Steve. Can't talk about that on here. I can't talk about that on here because it's not Stranger Things related, but it was so good.
Stranger Things inspired.
It was so good. If you like romance novels, fake dating, slow burn romance novels that take place in the 80s, I highly, highly, highly recommend Something Rad by Nikki Witt. I have no one to talk about this with.
Really?
No, none of my friends have read it. I need to get them to read it. It was so good. It's big. It was great. It was so good. It took me a week to read.
You should ask Ham Radio.
Somebody please read it. It was so good. It was so good.
So you're coming out with one book recommendation and one avoid.
There you go.
Instead of this, read this.
Read this. Well, that's all I have to say. I'm good.
I think you want to sign off?
Yeah, we can sign off. We will be back on, it was already announced who we're talking about. So next week we will have our Hopper deep dive ready to go for you.
And talk about the hippity hops.
That should be a good one. You're not gonna want to miss that one. So, yeah. So, signing off from the Hawkins Hellfire Collective. I'm Devin Grubb.
And I'm Zach Grubb.
Dusty Buns gets it done.